Okay, we are here in the home of house with the one and only Mike Dunn. Thank you so much for joining us. It's
Thank you for having me.
so nice to talk to you. First of all, how was your B2B with your brother, literally chosen few brother, Terry Hunter?
Yes. Well, House in HD is a group we created amongst ourselves, which is the HD is for Hunter and Dunn, but it also is high definition. So House in high definition, House in Hunter and Dunn. And it's more than a back-to-back. So a back-to-back is he plays some records, then I play some records. We go back. We actually intertwine with playing records at the same time. So
That's incredible.
it's more like, we just took the whole thing from like what Masters at Work does
And
made it Chicago.
He was just saying that you really don't need to do a lot of preparation for this because you're just so connected. You've been doing this for so long.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We fit like a hand in glove. So we know each other. I know what he's going to do. He know what I'm going to do. We've been friends 30 years almost. So it's
so incredible. That's amazing. I was reading that you really got your start like in basements doing like live sets.
Yeah.
Like you had drum machines, you had the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
How do you think that that's shaped the way that you perform today?
I keep that young, I should say, mindset of being creative and not just playing a record. That's boring to me, and I'm sure it's boring to the people that are out in the crowd looking. So I try to always be creative with my mixing. So when I started that, I was just trying to set myself apart from what the other DJs doing so I could get more gigs. So they're like, well, he does this and he does that. He bring a drum machine out, he bring 2 reel-to-reels, he got, and most of the stuff, like, it was the 3 of us when it first started. It was me, Tyree Cooper, Hugo H. So it was us 3. And Tyree was doing his thing with some of the other guys, and me and Hugo was left to basically do our thing on our own. So we would do all the little basement parties and things like that, and so yeah, it helped me. To answer your question, it shaped me and groomed me to who I am now as a producer, as a engineer, as a DJ, I'm one of those guys that don't get caught up in being stuck in the time. I move with the time. I move with how things, oh no, they ain't doing this or this. Tools are out there to help you and take advantage of them. So I was a very inquisitive kid as a young kid. My grandma bought me I'm telling my age, a component set for Christmas. And I took it loose just because I wanted to see how it works.
Wow.
So I've always been a kid that was like, and I tell all my younger cats that's up under me, J Star and all them, and don't learn your craft and not only just turn something on and don't find out just how it works. Find out why it works like that.
That's
and
great
once
advice.
you understand why it works like that, everything else becomes.
That's great advice. And I love what you said about not getting stuck in doing something one way.
Right.
Because I think that is the downfall of a lot of artists when they don't want to evolve.
Right.
They feel like that's, they're too good for it, or they've learned all they need to learn, and then they stay stuck.
I've always said, my saying is, and I've said this for years, a man who claims to know everything is an idiot who knows nothing.
So true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
Once you think you've learned, you know everything, you might as well go lay down in the ground somewhere.
Yeah, hang it up.
It's
Yeah.
over with.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a sponge, and I love, like, I do a lot of research. I watch a lot of tutorials. I just want to gather as much information as my brain can take until I want to go to sleep.
That's
You know what I'm
amazing.
saying?
You have so much success in this career, and for you to say that you still do that, it's so important for young artists to hear.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people think once I get to a certain age, I can just phone it in.
Right.
You know, people are going to be calling me left and right, and here you are saying, no, I'm still learning. I'm still putting in the reps.
I'm still watching. You know, like I said, I'm a sponge. It's just, I know that. It's just like, for me, it's information is, I love, I wasn't that good in school, y'all. I had great penmanship, though.
but you're good at what you do. That's the school is not for everybody. The most successful and smart people usually say they never did well at school because they just wanted to do what they were good at, what they were interested in.
Yeah.
You know, you're such a pillar of Chicago, and what we were alluding to earlier, and I told Terry this before you and I chatted. My husband is from New York, and we got married here in Chicago, and we were very particular about the music at our wedding and what order it would be in. And our number one request to our wedding DJ was, you have to open the dance floor with "If I Can't Get Down" by Mike Dunn. And I'm telling you from, you know, the young all the way up to my 75-year-old Nonna from Sicily, rushed the dance floor, and it was like the best moment. That song to us is like Chicago. I can't think of something that represents Chicago better.
It's crazy how I can't, you know, I'm a big James Brown's fan. And I love James Brown. And that was, I did that song to say, how would James Brown sound if he did a house record?
Really?
So that's why you hear that record like that. If I can't get down, yeah. Tell me why in the hell am I trying to get back up with it? That's like James Brown. Hit it.
Now that you say it, oh my God, that's...
Hit it. So I did that song in honor of James Brown because I love James Brown so much. So for me, when I went to the studio, I was like, make this song, and that's why you hear the horns and all that. So it's like the JVs behind.
Any sort of mood I'm in, if that comes on, I got to stop what I'm doing. It's so, and that's the beauty of house music, is that you can pull influence from absolutely anything and make it a banger track.
Yeah, oh yeah. But James, the Godfather, man, it's just like, I grew up in a household where music was everything. So for me, my dad was more eclectic. He jazz, rock, so that's why I got my things from Led Zeppelin and, you know, Steely Dan and Chicago and all those groups from my dad. My mom was more into dance music. So she loved disco. My mom loved to dance. So that's where I picked up the disco from, because every Friday when my dad would get paid, my mom would get her little money. This was before the women could make their own little money now. But my dad would give her money. She would go take me to the record store with her. So when she would take me to the record store, I would watch her as a kid, how she would pick records. So she would go in, and the lady would, what came out this week or whatever, and then the lady would play the records for her, and she would ask her, do you got the long version? Back then it was the disco version. You know what I'm saying? You got the disco version to that, and I could just remember, as if it was yesterday, me as a kid, Anita Ward, and she put on Ring My Bell, and my mom asked her, did she have the long version, and she had the long yellow TK disco records from my mom bought the long version, so all of that. Commodore's Brick House and all
one of my favorite songs ever.
You know,
this is one of my favorite songs.
All the disco stuff I got from my mom. I got more the soulful, the jazz, the rock from my dad, but the disco and the dancing stuff came from my mom.
That's amazing. It's so beautiful how I hear that from so many artists, how their parents, obsession with music influenced their own, and I can definitely hear all of those influences in your own production.
I try everything. I go in because I've always been an open-minded producer, an open-minded artist. I produce like that. When I have artists, I let an artist be an artist. I don't come in and like my way or the highway or anything of that sort like that. It's just, to gain an artist's trust, you got to, even though you know it's wrong, you have to let them do it and figure out that it's wrong, and they'll trust you more. And when you say stuff, you don't get the push and pull. You don't get
That's not just in artistry, that's in life.
Right.
That's sage life advice right there.
Right.
You just got to be quiet and let somebody else talk it out until they figure it out.
Right.
That's great. That's great advice.
Yeah, and then they'll, they're more acceptable when you say something. They're not taking it personal. They don't.
Right.
They know that you have the best interests.
Yeah, absolutely. You listened to them. You heard them out. They feel like they said their piece, and absolutely.
Yeah, but if you always telling somebody it's wrong and not showing them why it's wrong, you're just telling them it's wrong. It becomes a thing. You hate.
right. Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm the type of producer, and I'm extremely open-minded because I don't have all the answers. Don't claim to have all the answers. And you can learn. You learn more when you listen than when you're talking.
So true. That's why I'm sitting in this chair and I'm asking you questions. This has been such a pleasure. I'm so happy that we got to chat. Thank you for your time. I know you could be anywhere out there, so it's really great. That sounds like
a Mike Dunn record. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
All right. If you make that record,
no, it's made.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. You got to put me in a little fine print in there.
Yeah. It's already It's on Defected Records. It's already
It is. Okay, so maybe I just subconsciously knew that.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna need to put that under this video then. Lay that track underneath. This was so great. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having me. Arc Festival 2024, baby. You know what it is. It's the thing that's happening in Chicago. It's your boy Mike Dunn. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Everybody at the Arc Festival, enjoy yourselves. You know what it is. When you hear that voice for them commercials, that be Mike Dunn. Arc Festival 2024. Get ready for 2025.